Honourable Ruth Dyson.
Mr Chairman, I so move. I'm taking a call as the chairperson of the Government Administration Committee, which has responsibility for a number of the topics under this theme, and it's really interesting to speak in the first themed bracketed debate of this sort in the Appropriation 2013-14 Confirmation and Validation Bill. Mr Chairman, I'm referring specifically to the Appropriation Confirmation and Validation Bill because you may be inclined to have the same very hardline approach to reference to the topic as your predecessor in the chair had, and I just want to cover all bases before I get on to a broader contribution to the debate. I do want to take the opportunity, and I'll be upfront with you, Mr Chair, it is slightly outside the mandate of the debate, but given the contribution that I'm going to make next, I think you'll excuse me. I want to take the opportunity, while the Honourable Chris Finlayson is in the chair, to acknowledge and thank him, not on behalf of my party, on behalf of all New Zealanders, for the drive and leadership that he demonstrated in enabling our National War Memorial to be completed in time for the 100th commemoration of the most tragic episode in New Zealand military involvement, the landing at Gallipoli. I know that previous ministers and governments were involved in purchasing of the land, but I am reliably informed that if it wasn't for the minister's personal passion and drive to have this completed on time, it may well not have happened. So, Minister Finlayson, I won't do this too often. I know that it's extremely risky for my reputation, as it possibly is for yours, but it's a genuine commendation of the work you did. I think the whole nation has benefited from that experience, which was broadcast throughout the day on Radio New Zealand. Oh, probably featured on Campbell Live too, yes. Possibly, because that's a fine contributor to public debate as well. I want to talk in general about some of the reports that we're considering that our Government Administration Committee considered, particularly State Services Commission, Culture and Heritage and Internal Affairs, and say that for core public services they were plagued by a lack of policy leadership and a lack of vision from their ministers, to the point that there was quite a lot of despondency, and the icing on the cake was clearly that they were in large part underfunded, despite the significant funding cuts that many departments have had to face, even health, which hasn't kept pace with population growth or inflation. The national government is still this year going to break a significant election promise which it made in 2011 and 2014. It was the #1 commitment from the Prime Minister in both those election campaigns that in this year's budget we would see a budget surplus, and now we've been told that that budget surplus has been put out yet again. So it's hard to work out where the money has gone to. We know we've had a recession. We know we've been part of the international global financial crisis. We know that the government has put in significant amounts of taxpayers' money, as we in Canterbury have put in ratepayers' money to the rebuild facilities that are needed, particularly in the infrastructure. But that doesn't make up for the poor financial management that the Minister of Finance has demonstrated, and the waste of money that we have seen. Wastes of money like the bailout of corporates, Sky City, Rio Tinto are the two obvious ones. The extraordinary amount of money that was put into giving the highest income earners, or those who declare their income, the 10% top income earners got a significant tax cut in the very same National Party budget that was cutting home support services for older New Zealanders. So the priorities of this government have been wrong. The financial management of this government has been weak, and we've had New Zealanders duped, told in 2 successive election campaigns as the #1 priority that there will be a budget surplus this year. Now we know that is a broken promise. I wonder how members of Parliament who are elected as constituency MPs feel when they go back to their electorates and have to face up to people that they have duped, they have misrepresented what was going to happen. Now they have to go back and say, we're breaking our promise. It's a very sad indictment on our political system.
The Honourable Christopher Finlayson.